we have not yet got another time zone. My name is still John Success Ogule, and we had a switch in programming, aware that I'd informed you yesterday that we shall be discussing the issues of garbage collection or garbage management in Soroti City. We have made a switch in that program that we shall be having it on Saturday. I apologize that all my panels that I contacted told me they were not in position to be with us here. I waited for their communication, but they failed to get back to me in time. But nonetheless, being also the day for media, it is called World Press Freedom Day, and it's a day for the media. I also decided to just make a switch, because by 2 p.m. there was no guest that had confirmed from my other panels, apart from the main panelists that we have always on Wednesday. But we also needed authority that included the Asante management that is in charge of collecting garbage in the city, and the mayor of Soroti City, who had already initially told me that he was going to get back to me, but he didn't get back to me because there are key issues that those two authorities will have to explain to us. I know issues of garbage collection in the city. Currently, there is a little bit of an improvement, and we want to know what are the key modalities they are putting, and then also what lies ahead of the city in terms of garbage management. That discussion, I have decided to switch it on Saturday because it's one of the key issues that is affecting us. Nonetheless, I have in studio my guest, and we are going to discuss issues pertaining to the media, or issues that are involving the media in the country. But nonetheless, being also the roundtable where I'm going to discuss issues affecting and also leading to poor performance or making the media strive in the country or perform better, I want also to inform you that earlier today, the minister, actually President Yoweri Museveni, said Minister Engola's killing was a big crime to patriotism, and it is one of the trending stories that is running, while there are other stories also that we saw that 127 people perished in the floods that is actually it happened in Rwanda. And then also fighting continues in Juba, but the authorities that is the UN boss has called for ceasefire between the fighting forces, that is the Sudanese army and the RSF forces. And then also we saw at least priorities to increase national tax base. We also saw that coming in the news. And we saw also the minister Agnes Nandutu was denied a bail today, and they have switched the hearing to tomorrow. The judges or the state attorney claims that if Nandutu is given bail, she might disappear. We don't know why, but that is Uganda where we are. So those are the key things that we saw in the news. The state attorney claiming that if Nandutu is given bail, she might escape the word of charm. Those are key things that were happening, or those are key things that are happening tonight in our country. And then, as talk of the minister's desk continues, we see several things happening in the country. Nonetheless, I want to start by inviting or introducing my guests who have made up today to the show. I want to start from my right hand. I have Speaker Stephen Ojachor, and I want him to say hi to the listeners.
Thank you very much, our dear listeners. Ano abona lolo. I am sorry that John alosongo atosoma ngaje par ari na musugun kedana Teso nara ikotoni tuwada lukwapa misiki ne joko akiro milosa itatana ne kakiro ngola dauna dimu. Stephen Ojachor ara lo nyare tai kedamu sugun be raban lo itunga lo jina kapilo asaja. Ido ane jai aimoro lo
mamchabo jina kutubala saja.
Araido jenjo iworo jora loso town jora itama iputara mo. Teteremi na ichi ongoli oshepane ni kwana balabe kose twenda ngoli. So ikote shalame kini management lo radio alo anu anya round solo lo ido akora ngalimu na bonego Teso kere ara area now Teso kere. TBS is one of the radio stations which as we as media appreciate, media practitioners I would say appreciate for honoring today as the World Press Day. Osoda nyarang so abunere aitatam achiekiro ne kamnara keda. Belo sete budobiai kwa erosi atesi mutu. And I think we shall be able to discuss a number of issues here as we earmark this day as one of the most important days for in our lives as journalists or the practitioners in this profession of media. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. I have a senior and veteran. I want to start calling him veteran because in 2012, he started this journey in 2012 and he has now spent clean 10 years. Me, I've just spent little 8 years. So he's veteran, George Mron. He works with the Daily Monitor. And besides being veteran, he has also done a lot of stories. Long ago, I used to work in TBS doing a show called Achukut, and he highlighted several stories that included issues of the Anisa land. So I have him here. He will also share his experience, how he suffered torture, he was battered. You know, when you're down there, when you go to the field, some people think that these guys are enjoying life. Kumbe. Yes, George, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Once again, George Mron is my name. This is not my first time, I repeat today again, to be in TBS or in the waves of TBS. I used to host a program called I Push, that is in 2014 here in TBS, besides writing news. And you have always called me here for so many shows, especially on Saturdays, weekends, to do a weekly roundup of the news. Others, I'm very grateful for this day. I thank you very much for recognizing that, the management and then you, the host, for recognizing this day as a very important day for the development of the media in Teso, in Uganda, and internationally. Without this kind of platforms, it makes it lose meaning, and some people might think like there is no media. But when it is brought to the limelight like this, everything is brought to the people's memories and minds that, oh, we have journalists and they have roles and responsibilities to play in the society. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I also have here is a new entrant. I think he will direct me if I say it badly. He has been there for literally close to 2 years. He works for our sister news agency that is also the East News. It's a website that we run as a sister news agency here at Tan Media Company. But besides that, also he works with Teso Vibez. Teso Vibez is an online website and also is a registered company. And besides that, it's also run on YouTube and Facebook. Nathan, and then also I think he has also a television called Teso Television. But he's not explaining to us what he has in Teso Television.
It's not actually breaking down.
He is not breaking. Why?
Maybe he's still keeping it secret.
No, but he's out there. I think yes, Nathan. Say hi to the listener and we'll start.
Yes, good evening. Thank you so much, Abwana Johnny, for this invite. I would like to say good evening to all the dear listeners outside there. It's going to be a wonderful discussion inside here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ngunu ngesitu ngaluja sine osodi kini mame kote muroke ni joga kote isinyiko kini jara bay alimo kini joga nibe. We are also live in all our platforms, including now. I want first to own for this time Teso Vibez. We are currently live on Teso Vibez via Facebook page Teso Vibez. You can, if you are having issues with your radio, you're trying to leave your home area, moving to other areas, you don't have to miss this show. We are live here on Teso Vibez currently. And then also don't miss to download our radio app. That is the TBS The Bull app on Google Play Stores. We are live. We are coming to you live also in our radio app. And then other platforms where we keep updating you, posting apps, pictures, including Teso News Network. We do post those pictures of the show. So you don't need to miss out on that. The report by the UN indicates that worldwide, press freedom is under attack. And according to the UN report, journalists in Uganda and across the globe. As we commemorate the day, the UN says that to raise awareness of the importance of the freedom of the press and reminding our government that their duty to respect and uphold the right of the freedom of press. We are all aware that what is happening in the country, we have freedom of the press, but we are not realizing it, and we have less of this. We have seen scenarios where we have been clashing with the police, and I also want first of all to appreciate police for accepting to hold a game, even though we didn't name that game like it was meant for this day, but we had a game over the weekend. It's on Monday.
Yes, on Monday was International Labour Day.
Yes, and we used the police came and demolished us. I want to use that word, demolished us, but we are preparing seriously. We are going to demolish them. I'm also informed that the priests want to make unity with the journalists, and the priests of the Roman Catholic Church are preparing to play with journalists on July. So mark your date, July, and then we are having a busy May. We are having games. These are games all aimed at making peace with other entities, and in terms of having freedom, and so that also we can access information. We have seen that the UN says that we have had serious attack in the media. There is no serious press freedom. People are not given an attempt to access information or gain access to information as prescribed in the Constitution, that we have a right as citizens or as journalists to get to have access to this information. I want to kickstart with Stephen. How has been your journey of the media, and how do you value it as we speak right now?
You know, as I come to this question that my brother John Success has actually brought on board, it's a very broad question. But I would like to bring to the ears of the public that today is the World International Press, I would say Press Day. Neda inomunomata arabonate ne tojo karakwap ne boikino kwap osoda tiari de bu just narota kimto kwa pakolong. So otoma paki kwatana irere ori anyu bonebe anyo ekakiro nu eswa mataro takie muto ido ani apanya noitoros kestoma no korosi apo arabonata rapanaro apolo kebonebe Erailo initiative lobu eriong etulebaka United Nations, atenulebaka United Nations itomo, and they have within United Nations ejatenebaka UNESCO. Ngese yaiti akirona irere eswa maelo arutaki muto. Akwa pukere. Yenijo eriong etelo UN lo era kwa pina kwa takeda kaisa kajango na luni. Ngese rasi member states. Apolo kebonbe lolo aparane na erai akwa pin akwa tatake la kaisa kanyangon aluni kesejasi aino munum aparana arotaka iye muto. Now of course aparan kanala lo Uganda na ngesa diopioto makwapin no erasi diopioto makesi arakedalo wa member. So of course lolo on World Press Freedom Day 2023 UNESCO of course organized a special anniversary event in UN headquarters in New York, yes. On New York, yes. Marking the 30 years since the UN General Assembly's decision proclaiming on, of course, International Day for Press Freedom. Now, it is always celebrated every 3rd of May this year, and specifically, Aparana Lolo, Akuna Kirotara, the theme for the day is shaping a future of rights, freedom of expression, and a driver for all other human rights. Apollo Kebonebe, I lajara na I seja omisio, ngesidio poto mobore, yenerai esusutu lo Apollo na akwa pukere. Now, inyo ina iterebo rebaka ebe, I lajara na omisio, arotani muto ngesi erai Arabonati ejai kiding erai misani lo the state and its subordinates, and that is tungalu ngaren kintos kesi Apollo kebonebe ejaro tani muto kiding nen. So kwa ngisi ango onacheka John Ogule. It is very important for me autati kwanengo alachu na kirono atari bonebe eongo kapo jachori Steven nese dio pio tomaro takie muto o Uganda ame usoda kwa pukere loe wadi kauna keda iliongetle baka Uganda Media Council ido ajasi kede bachelor's degree lo akiro anwe kamanara keda aroti muto polo ke onda ngesidio poto motunga lweko ko Santos o Teso ane karaida mamberengo adolta doketaiti na kui lo apedo sai ngapi midalin keda oja ubalantona cheka umuron lo erai kwa nalola adawi karitomon jana kinito mapolo ke bonebe na giara laso amedu mutangali ka utai kokore kalamu ewo kwa nadawi karulo ikainta unilo aje ngotoma autengo aituta kirone kamtosi airoti muto so ebunangi sete Onacho Gule anyakaro ka umoti narai otoma paki kwa tana ara ya utona numunu majokisa toto ara jokisa papa ara jokisi na kwa puoko ara ine baka ibonebe apakine uru independence ireroro kawepo labuni wa Uganda tonne kwa neja iti tironi pera iboiki na anyi bonbe which could be our next action point lo ibunoni akotokina ekononyo aitemokin so itu jente sa joko bonebe na ngesa pakine tupakini apa parashare kau na jari Uganda bobo eota alomar bobo joining the rest of the world in celebrating the International Labor Day akwa pukere mamara Uganda bon apolo ke bonebe these are some of the initiatives lu abu eriong local United Nations General Assembly oda uto apesiki na kalenda nanu so nesi apotu kwa parotaki mtu teater bonebe kaija aroni do kidilolo na Labor Day keda World Press Day, Freedom Day. Apollo Kebonebe, how best can we bring the relationship? Can we bridge that gap between the Uganda police keda arotaki emuto? Ajana mwetunga luipu wapoto se sentos aporo pupito se mopira la jai. Mamola re mopira lo are lagano anote terentele kare koroyo lo saipe mam. Ara ngole mopira lo eutare so I see you edichane kidding arotaki emuto. Keda policing ido do rapele kine rekosi I temonokin taking a simplest approach of solving. You know, we are one of those who are supposed to be the light kwa parotani emuto iraso atala neja ateke apolo ke bonebe nui soma iso nui neraso ara iko pana lime waja choribo ready ara so denga sabun ebaka ebe ebalere dio apolo ke bonebe ibusa kidi so duja mboro opona lerior we didn't take the defiant approach neja si policy nebe narai we have in most cases disagreed in the field, we have been battered, we are actually we have been taken as a major target for the police and the forces whenever there are events happening that we go and cover, and yet we are not the cause. We are just going to unveil what is happening to the public, but because it's a data side, in most cases we are a target so that we are disrupted from bringing it to the public. But when it's a very good side, we are even, they can even araibu uriara jo bwekine cholongola titeji pera igwane no ojajo anu apera ya ona kiro unu kinga na ara rasu ni usha ni koto itunga ekononyo ajenu so ngini sana kinsiti ari bonebe mam Ogule oja chori lu edu omu lu angai ngunu kere lu olu kwa lai yo top radio be boy kinos ener tuke di policing aboli atemo pira dodo ne limono non case bonebe ngumije twere jo bonebe jalo yenjo akiro meti agasi je idudi ya parking ni Apollo put us a remonta rango rebora laji mamkera oh okay no we shall I think next time so dumunjo bonebe erangi boreni poponi edichane tetere so kere kaparutaki muto ipedota swame joko nepepeke di policing because we are all allies of development for the community. If you look back, as my brother John Ogule asked, this question will force me to go back to look at the history of Uganda's press since the inception of Uganda's independent government in 1962. So if I look back at the post-independent media versus government relationship, it is of course clear that many things have changed, but many things have of course stayed the same as well. So the Armenians remain the worst. Ngintwele kelepera limonengo. Ajena nga detail amama uritaengo anyu denga twanira min na baka batwan kamini kinga ya unatesne kwa so akosamara lusai boro tunen anyu ne atese to boro obote the same dishaka mame soda aparasha me am born of 1990s. So idumun jobonebe, but history has kept shaping the young people. History, of course, has kept directing the public on the direction to go. Ngesidum na jobonebe. Ire kijo in the archives. Itodia ibonebe apuganasha no apoto atuborosi no, of course kiding ajore kiding apugani ke jakaiti obote ngese limitai, but of course we know mamero obote ngese president lo soditi lo Uganda, erai mutesa tu ngese president lo akai lo sod lo Uganda. Obote was the first prime minister narai ngini ngesa pono la pot keso chama nato ekauloke abu obote raunu president lo yaret lo Uganda konye inyobo enaktai wadikaita nwepo inera se IT silaru na arutakie muto noi ICJ kidinga apugan ke obote apugan ke amin itirianodo kwana kede apugan na kwana. So you will realize that the civilian regime, of course, have often come hard against the media, although it is not as worst as the past one. Ya araomu njogule sana lukwana bili mutu nanjo bia radio ibala jo bia bako angasimola iboka choko mambo jibongu nina wasia konye na kwana na ibunga uja ibunga bon bwa intejeti ya gasa konye bongo jore chuchure ta konye. So that is a difference.
Stephen, let's talk about this theme of this year, shaping a future of rights, freedom of expression as a driver for all human rights. Now, we are looking, one of the key things is professional journalism or registered journalists, and then we also have a use in the media, because as we speak right now, I can say 90% of media journalists in the country are youth aged between 15 or let's say 18 to 30, at worst 40 years. We are looking at the theme that says shaping a future of rights and a freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. Do you see this year's theme where we are going to trade as achievable?
Yes. Now, yala manoi na jono gule. Iro ikijo theme lo karualo. Right ilo joko. Right lo just keda apele kinet neja akwap. And the only thing which worries me, you know, the world is categorized by behavior, by location, and this gives actually now the results to look different. In the United States and other countries no musugun in the Western world, this will work very well. The reason angina ijanyo una buado jali munba renga rotani mutu iraijo etwendo polado munet tikwa na berona lose lato street na tituna cameran bi journalist soni itunga kerona na ndebereji sirigilwa lwa bure berana nae narai. You are the agent of change, you are the agent of progress, you are the agent of development. Without you, John, I can tell you today in Eroni lo sekare president la America Ejakaiti
Joe Biden.
Ejakaiti, not Joe Biden.
Oh, you're talking of this man's friend.
Ejakaiti
Trump.
Ejakaiti Donald Trump lo arai president lo America. Kopaka na erida eta ejakaiti lo noi anuna arai ai wadikaeta ne wadikaeta rutaki mto apake ngune muatinges balara ngitoi ne kamto singesi konye kwa nae Roni ai wadikaeta ngun articles ngun kede evidences aputoshia nara jenja puto no mari osweta ibweki na papula are video ai nomun esala kinibore no records ikaru kedikaru eraje nanu dubonebe obuji kwa ikine apaki na akwana ido no obujo limkesi ngun aso ngine kisilma mera lebosi idumuri yobonebe eja ikwa na jaka itingoni ai kona putoshia nukolo itene ntesi nuke kedanu akwana mambo berasi mikota hii nweputosi leleange sidako ikinara epolo yekete ngesi kujua ngina anu akirosi achie no abunge siswamate mamerai eponele jok dongunu kere orai arutaki muto lualemete ajenanut otoma ai wadi kaeta catch no seke wadi katosi kesi apaki angunu ne ajari ngesi jana kin kede ine resine ke luenera na kin ngesa ataki muto so idumunjo bonebe erai na ebo ngori abongo kina a ngiset na ngisi je onacho gule bonebe e theme lo karo alono inera da bonebe ai jana kin kwa paru taki muto keda la jara ido rapele kinet ai topola kwap itoso mai kalamu keda papula kwa paru tani iye muto so konya idolu joni ne Africa the nature of governance is completely different from the Western culture. Pole jata rakwapin no akai no kinga idumun jobonebe on ne na it will now force us to talk about governance versus media and why to dolkina kirotongin narai ijoko poka na nyona ne agara soma kirotongin we saw in the previous years radio no lo Uganda ejana go le radio no almost radio no wongono bali uni kere atego. We saw, of course, KFM, Dembe FM, even Kyoga Veritas was one of the radios that were closed. If I ask you why, anwakirota ngini ethimu lo le baka ilo bonebe basi pokin anera beito soda buakera titing anyunda bonebe iswama ijo kera ila jara anwara utatala neja ateker idoma mikuriana itosoma kalamu kera papula. So nesidum najo monebe mamu tiera theme lolo rono. This is a very good theme, a well thought theme, but it can never be an equalizer. It will not roll the ball in the equal pace worldwide.
Okay.
It will always, the ball will roll triangular when it comes to some countries, especially in Africa, but the ball will remain oval when it is in the United States and those other countries where the rule of law is taken as a precious job.
Okay, thank you so much, Ateker. Ibuni alosite doing the time check, and then we bounce back from the time check. I will definitely read for you today's statement from the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, concerning the fate or the plight of journalists in the country, and then that will make me go straight to Nathan on this, and then later on turn to Moron, and then I know I see you're calling, but I will definitely pick you, Edolo Esa Niare Kelatu to bed. I am going to spend the next 30 minutes in my two panelists. I also have the communications officer of the district of Kapelebion online, so we shall make sure that we spend the 15 minutes or 30 minutes, okay, let me say 30 minutes to at least have the conversation between these guys. Let me do the time check, then I bounce back.
Look, 87.6 TBS El Mongolo Teso. This name check is brought to you by
MTN. Get 100% bonus on all MBs you load when you connect your smartphone on MTN for the first time. Dial *150# to load data bundles and get free MBs. Offer applies for first 3 months. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Foundation.
Okay, Yalamanwe, Ateker, Abung Noto Magola Narangin. Nathan, the Speaker of Parliament, while presiding in today's plenary, in a communique to the plenary, the Speaker congratulated journalists upon making the 30th World Press Freedom Day that was established. She has urged the private sector players who run media houses to always pay journalists on time to avoid reporting that results from being compromised. She said, we want to wish well our friends there that was in the gallery up there, a good celebration, and we also want to urge the private sector that these people work for you. You should pay them on time. I have received complaints from the people who work in TVs that they have spent over a year without being paid. So private sector pay them because they have families. In most cases, they don't do good stories because they are compromised. It looks like the media in the country is compromised. Now, the blame has been switched to the private owners. And I think we need to discuss about this at length. Whom should we blame? on professionalism of the media or of journalists in the country.
All right, thank you so much, Bwana Moderator. I think the communication of the speaker was actually so right, because when you look at the trend right now, you realize several media houses are actually having gaps in paying their staff. So you find, for example, a reporter who is supposed to go and get a story. Most times, the reporters face challenges. So being going to the field and get a story, then later on, the source comes in and tells you, I can offer you this amount of money. You realize most of the journalists, most of the reporters have actually fallen victim into these scenarios. And then secondly, since it is a press day, it is worth celebrating, but of course with a number of challenges. I see we are still lagging behind. Although this day keeps on coming each and every year, you realize when you talk about press freedom, even a local person outside there talks about security. They believe security is an enemy to the press. So now this one becomes a very big concern to actually, including the members of the public. So now, when we talk about the press day, I can actually bring in my example. Being a young journalist, so far I've finished, actually becomes so bad now for you, because there's no money that you're actually going to get unless the media house feels pity for you, gives you something. So media is not a profession for those people who come in and believe that they will actually become rich. When you come to do journalism, make sure you've come with a passion to actually inform, entertain the general public outside there, make a name. And of course, that's actually what happens. But of course, the other thing is that once you're out of media, that means even the public actually keeps on forgetting about you. Those are some of the challenges that we as journalists actually face.
Many newsrooms, as we speak right now, are still struggling to recover from the economic consequences that were caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. And definitely, I will have time to talk to the boss of iCherit, who is currently online. I wanted him to clearly share with us, because most media houses, as we speak right now in the country, are still battling with the consequences of recovering from the economic crisis or consequences that were caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and that this has led to prolonged financial hardships and cordial jeopardism in the workplaces. I want to go straight online to welcome Mr. Emmanuel Opio, who is here for us online. He is the director, one of the directors of iCherit newspaper. Good evening, my brother. And I know you're getting us from far.
Good evening, John. Good evening, my other colleagues who are in the studio. Good evening, our dear listener. It is indeed a good day where we remember the achievements and challenges that the media is currently going through in the world, and to remember many of the achievements, many of our colleagues who have died in the battlefield, many of our colleagues who have ideally have heart for work, that they have serious crippling challenges. We are talking about economic crisis in media management.
Yes.
It is one of the biggest issues that I think will continue being talked one day, second day, continuously. It is one thing that has baffled very many people. You know, when I was at school, the debate would be always that why are doctors paid professional fee, but for journalists, it is contrary. It's different. And when you check the media in Uganda, there are few government-owned media houses, and many of the media houses are private, which serve the population, which ought to be getting updates, information, education, entertainment, name them. And it's media.
Yes.
When it comes to printing costs, I think printing costs are going up daily. And if you even wanted to buy printing press, machines for printing, personally, it would be so challenging. It is ideally a difficult one. And media houses that have come up to I mean, personalities who have come up to say, let's get together and come up with a media house, have to shoulder all those challenges. But amidst those challenges, of course, there is that sole purpose of you wanting to serve the community very well on the key principles, the key functions of the media. But I feel it is heavy. But all in all, I think what is lagging is partnership from some actors, some stakeholders who have failed to give value to the media. They do not yet know the importance of the media, why much support needs to be given, trying to check into Teso as a sub-region. You know, one of the functions of media is to create awareness, to create, to market goods, market businesses. But if you check in Teso here, there are few business enterprises which have ideally embraced the idea of advertising their businesses.
Yes.
So, money to run media companies, media entities, for people to get awareness, for people to get information, for people to get informed, for people to get sensitized. And it is a big challenge that I think it will take some time for Teso in particular to convince the proprietors of businesses, proprietors of different enterprises to come in to partner with the media such that their products are put in the market. You know, in Teso here, you can be shocked to say that a person can come from Kampala, is looking for a recreational ground here in Soroti, but he has to move in town looking for it